Alright, YouTube. I'm going to be doing a Chaos Fortune Lady deck, so here we go. We have 3 Fortune Lady Light. Heart of the deck, you basically, when they're removed off the field, you special summon any Fortune Lady. Most of the time, you can special summon a Fortune Lady Dark. She pumps from the graveyard. She pulls any Fortune Lady out of the graveyard that you want to. Most of the time, you'll be searching water. Water's the draw power of the deck. Well, basically, when she's on the field, when she's special summoned by Fortune Lady effect, you draw 2 cards. It's really good. I really like it. Or you pull out Fire. Fire is she nukes any card on the field. I only want 1 fire. 1 fire is all is needed because if you draw it, it's useless. So we have 1 fire. She nukes any big hitter on the field, which Fortune have a problem with. Next, we have 2 Thunder King Rios. They're really good. They stop special summons. They stop searches. You don't really add to your hand except by drawing in this deck, so they're really good on the field. Basically, they can help control. They help the control aspect for the deck. Next, we have 2 Cyber Valleys. Cyber Valleys are good for draw power. I really like them. You remove a Fortune Lady with a Cyber Valley, and then you draw 2 cards, and you Fortune Future back into your graveyard, draw another 2. Really good combos for draw power. Next, we have 2 Caius. Caius is really good. He basically removes from your side of the field, maybe removes from your opponent's side of the field. You can use him to force Lighty's effect, or you can use him to remove himself for the game. 1,000 points of damage for the game, or 1,000 points of damage from another dark for the game. I really enjoy him. There's a lot of sack fodder, especially with the swarming. So next we have 1 Trigodia. Trigodia, you have a lot of hand advantage, so Trigodia drops all the time with big numbers in its attack points. I really like Trigodia. We have a Trigodia. He's really good. He steals and you can synchro. With the only tutor in the deck, you'll see him later. Next, we have 1 Cyber Dragon. Cyber Dragon is basically a staple. He basically you can get rid of any machines on the field. For kind of Maritech Fortress, and he's a big beater. He gets around future visions, which is really good, which is really necessary. Next we have Plague Spreader, only tuner of the deck. He's really just here to synchro with. He's gold. So we basically you bring him out from the graveyard, and then you synchro. You can bring out basically any star because all these different levels that you have, fortunately, are always leveling up and whatnot. Next, we have 2 Chaos Sork. Yeah, Chaos Sork, a lot of lights and darks in this deck. Therefore, Chaos Sork is viable. You basically can force Lighty's effect. You can force, you can remove big hitters off the field. He's really good, and especially since he's at 2 this format. So, next, now move on for the spells. We have 3 Future Visions. Really good card. They basically control your opponent's normal summons and yours, but you're not too worried about it because Light's basically the only thing you're gonna be normal summoning, and maybe a Plague Spreader, maybe a Cyber Valley. But you have these, they summon and it gets removed, and they come back during the standby phase. It stops any priority effects because they're removed and can't activate their effect on the field. Only mandatory effects get around this, like Caius, so that's really good. Now we have Fortune Future. D-draw of the deck, you pump a Fortune Lady into your graveyard from your remove from play stack and draw 2 cards. There's a lot of combos pulled off with this. Like, for instance, there's the Allure combo, where you allure darkness, you draw 2 cards for draw power. You remove a dark and your Fortune Future back to your graveyard. Allure is really good. You have enough darks to make it viable. You can allure away stuff that you don't need, or you can allure away your dark and then put it back into the graveyard. Next, we have 2 Book of Moons. Staples, also they help with the control aspect of the deck. They stop your opponent from attacking you. You stop their effects sometimes. You know, uh, 1 for 1. It's really good. You can ditch any monster you don't need. You can ditch a fire from your hand or a water from your hand. Special summon any level 1, which is your targets are Light and Cyber Valley. 1 for 1 is really good in this deck. Foolish Burial, I run it for the case that I have a dark on the field without any fortune ladies in my graveyard. So I pump water into my graveyard or pump a fire into my graveyard and attack and special summon it. Or you can pump a plague spreader in your graveyard and just special summon it through its effect. For synchroing, really good. Next we have Dark Hole, Monster Reborn, MST, Staples. Alright. Moving on to the traps, we have two compulsory evacuation devices. They force Lighty's effect. They stop your opponent from bringing out big hitters. They're really good. Um, yeah, they force a lot of things to happen. They're also, you know, pretty awesome. No cost. I really like them. Then we have Trap Dust Shoot. Dust shoot personal preference. It helps with the control aspect. When you dust shoot something, you just look at your opponent's hand. You basically get to see everything they have in their hand, and then you send back one card. Really awesome card. Okay. Then we have Staples, Bottomless, Solemn, Mirror Force, and then my favorite, Torrential. You basically blow the field, and with light on the field, you blow the field and then activate light's effect and special summon. Um, it's really good. So yeah, torrential. Now for the extra deck. Not you don't really synchro too much, but you always want to have your options full. So you run Android, Magical Android, Gaia. This is gonna be replaced by Agors. Ancient Fairy because there's a lot of Necro Valley on the field. You know you can also pop your own Future Visions, gain 1,000 life points, and add a Future Visions to your hand to get around your normal summoning. It's really good. Two Black Rose, standard. You don't synchro too much, but you never know when you're gonna need it. You know, especially with like Tragodia on the field or whatever. Stardust, standard. Thought Ruler, my favorite level 8. He's just really good all around. Colossal. I mean Iron Man. You know, because nobody has Iron Man. Everybody has Colossal, but nobody has Iron Man. You know. Uh, anyways, yeah, my custom colossal fighter. And then we have Chimera Tech Fortress Dragon. He's basically just because you have Cyber Dragon in the deck, so you always want to have him around just in case you need it. All right, guys. That was my Chaos Fortune Lady deck. Rate, comment, subscribe.